Hello, lovely unites. Here we go. Video 2. Okay, we've got this. In this topic, we're looking at factorising using the difference of two squares. And so if you remember back to chapter 1, you would have had a look at expanding sort of the double brackets that will give you the difference of two squares. So just in this first example here, we've got x plus 2 multiplied by x take 2. So when you do the x times x, that gives you the x squared. When you do the x take 2, it gives you the minus 2x. 2 times x is positive 2x, and 2 times negative 2 is minus 2 squared, which is 4. So I can almost write that as, okay, well, that's just going to be x squared take 4 for that one there. And the second one, much the same way. And, you can expand that. That's going to give you 4x squared. Take 9 for that one there. So the general rule of thumb is that when you have two terms, one with a plus and the other one with a minus, you're going to get the a squared take b squared like that there. So easy way to do these types of questions here is to just keep in mind, well, what are the square numbers? So I might even just put a list to the side here and just go, all right, well, 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 5 squared is 25, 6 squared is 36. And for most of you, these should be sort of off by heart, but still good to sort of have a little cue there. And so essentially, here we've got x squared take 9, and just need to identify first up, well, 9 is a squared number. I can see here 9 is the same as 3 squared, so I can almost just write that down. First up, I can just write down, well, that's the same as x squared take 3 squared. And so here we've got a difference of two squared values. And from what we saw previously, if that's the case, it's going to simplify down into something like that there. So let's go and write down that solution. So it's got the double brackets, and that's just going to be x plus 3 and then x take 3. Okay. So in there, I did that first step where I said, well, x squared take 3 squared. And you don't really have to do that each time. And the second one here, 25 take y squared, I can think, well, 25 is just 5 squared. So my two brackets are just going to be like so. And I can go, well, it's the first, so my first term is the 5 squared. So it's going to be 5 plus y, 5 take y. Simple as that. You might be wondering, I started with a plus and then I did a take. Does it really matter? No, it doesn't, because you're multiplying those two terms together. There's really a multiplication between the two, but typically we don't put in a multiplication there. So 3 times 4 is the same as 4 times 3. So if you started with a minus first and then a plus, doesn't really matter. This one here, we can think, well, what's that 4x squared? Well, that's just really 2x all squared, and then 9 is just 3 squared. So I can go, all right, well, it's just 2x plus 3, 2x take 3. Okay, nice and simple. So let's come down to the next few examples. So we've got 3a squared take 27, and you go, oh, well, 3 over here, 3 and 27 aren't squared numbers. So this is where we're going back to the previous lesson where we're looking for common factors. And we're going, okay, well, I know that 3 is a common factor for both of those there. So I can go 3 outside of a squared take 9, because 3 times a squared is 3a squared, 3 times 9 is 27. And then I can go, all right, well, 9 is 3 squared. So I can go, all right, so that's going to give me 3 outside of a plus 3, 3 a take 3. Okay. So so it's a two-step question there. Take out common factor, then factorize difference of two squares. And the last one is pretty much the same as those first few examples that I did just above. So minus 16 plus 9x squared, well, that's just exactly the same as 9x squared take 16. So, that's a take 16, that's a positive 9x squared. Here's my positive 9x squared, there's my take 16. I'll just swapped it around. Then I can go, all right, well, 9x squared is the same as 3x all squared, and 16 is 4 squared. So I can just write out my answer from there, 3x plus 4, 3x take 4. You beauty, enjoy.